Welcome to the Next Ring podcast. It's Wednesday night, January 14th. New England Patriots, for the first time in 7 years, are playing in divisional weekend. I'm Adam Berzizi, as always, joined by Chris Garabedian and Nick Calderon, my co-hosts. Boys, how we doing? Cal, we haven't talked to you since you were at the game the other night. How was it?
It was unbelievable, electric. The vibes, like that's the first time I've seen the parking lots that full that early. Like, you just knew from the moment we got there at like 3:00, like 2:30, 3:00. So we were there early, and we were not the only ones there that early. Parking lots were already packed. Everyone was getting lubed up, and then the walk in the stadium's always a blast. Vibes are high. Everyone's talking shit, and then just loud. I felt like it felt loud there.
It looked like TV was like, this crowd showed up. They were so ready for some playoff football. What an awesome game, man. Like, that was great, man. I know me and G talked about that night, but G, how you feeling? I know it's been a few days, had some time to digest.
I was proud of the crowd, man. I thought that was like the best environment at Gillette probably since the Ravens divisional game in 2014. I thought that was a really great crowd, great atmosphere, that game, I remember. But usually a lot during like the Brady years, like it was almost like, the crowd wasn't as loud. It was a lot of, rich hoity-toity. It wasn't like a great atmosphere a lot of those games during the latter parts of the years. I thought that it reminded me of the early days. It was an excellent football environment. Yeah, and I'm just so like pleased with how we played defensively, and I think that's a major key for what's gonna happen this weekend. So I'm excited.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was almost like in the Brady days. A lot of those crowds, it was almost like so expected, and I think everyone's so excited to have playoff football back. Like, it's just awesome. Like just going through this week, I mean, it's just like I cannot wait for Sunday. I cannot wait to see what they've got. It gives you something to look forward to all week. I know I said it last week, divisional weekend historically I think is the best football weekend of the year. Like I said last week, you had a little more wild card games, those college football games. There's like more football, but you've got like probably the 8 best teams of football all left this week. I mean, the Jags obviously fell out, Philly fell out, but they didn't earn their spot. But all 8 of these teams, I think, are legitimately really good football teams. Could see any of them playing in the Super Bowl. 4 great matchups. Should be 4 just high-level, excellent football games. So before we hop into the preview, I do want to go over some leftover thoughts from the Pats-Chargers game. Apologies to our listeners. We were planning on getting like another episode out Monday. It just kind of didn't really work out logistically for us. Obviously, we did have that instant reaction, which I really enjoyed doing with G the other night. But I have a bunch of notes, and we'll just talk about a bunch of these. I mean, I thought, we were kind of like, yeah, Maye was kind of up and down. I thought his second half, outside of the fumbles, was like actually excellent. He was 11 of 14 with 140 rating. Obviously, through the touchdown. I mean, it took him some time to settle into that game, but then I think he really locked in and got comfortable with the offensive line, started playing a little bit better. But what did you guys think?
I thought he settled in. I thought he settled. It was a little bit of nerves. But I think, a thing on like Drake Maye that he's gotten a lot better at, but sometimes he has started some games a little like amped up. It kind of reminds me of how when I was younger, I used to watch Brett Favre play. Brett Favre would be a little juiced up and he'd be shooting some balls high. He'd be really excited, and then he'd settle in like the next drive. Maye's done that a little bit throughout. I think he was a little too jacked up at the beginning of the game, but obviously settled in really nicely. And then he was such a threat with his legs. And not only was he such a threat with his legs, he slid and he was smart and he protected the equipment, as Vrabel says, didn't take anything stupid, didn't set himself up like Jackson Dart for a stupid hit to get hurt. So I thought he had a lot better second half. And, at the end of the day, he was good enough for them to win the football game.
Yeah, what were they thinking in the stadium, Cal?
Yeah, I mean, we were moving the ball. Like, I felt like that wasn't like, obviously the first interception just like sucks. Like the turnovers, like that's really what killed us. Because other than that, we were moving the ball. Obviously, we didn't get to like score in the red zone, but like we had some splash plays. Like it felt like we were running our offense. Like it didn't feel like we were that like stagnant or like not able. We just weren't able to capitalize on certain opportunities in the red zone, stuff like that. But I mean, I'll say that for the most part, like I never felt like we were out of control. Like we controlled that game. I felt that way at the stadium. there was never a moment that I was like, oh shit, all right, like Chargers are making a run here.
Once we got that 4th down stop early in the game, it was like that was the only point where I was like, man, we might lose control here. We got it. We got down, got 3. It was almost kind of like that Steelers game earlier in the season where we lost, where it was like we're moving the ball all day, we're just having dumb turnovers and not capitalizing. Luckily, the defense played better in this one. I think on the flip side of, like, you know, a couple days off, I thought Herbert was like really bad. Like he, you know, they were hitting him, but like, you know, you keep seeing these breakdowns, and it's like he had guys and he just wasn't hitting them. He wasn't throwing to them. I mean, it was like the first half, we were texting. I was like, I don't think we're getting nearly enough pressure on him. He still wasn't. He scored 3 points. You know, it was like later in the game, once they were chasing, that's when we really started hitting him a ton. But yeah, he just, it's kind of becoming an interesting little story for his career where he shows up in the playoffs and he doesn't have it. You know,
he's shell shocked.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. Like again, as you said, as we keep seeing more of these breakdowns and like these almost all 22 clips, he has people open, and even he had like a decent pocket at some points especially in the early parts of the game where he, like, again, was like shell shocked, thinking pressure was coming, and he probably had time to really sit there and make a throw.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's I like Herbert, but I don't know if it's a situational thing where they're just on their way to ruining him, and I don't know.
Sometimes you are ruined by this point in your career, you know what I mean? Like, you took the words out of my mouth. That was the exact phrase I was thinking, is that he was shell-shocked. It's like when you're a quarterback and you get hit so much throughout the course of a season or a career or whatever it's been, you stop keeping your eyes down the field, your head goes down, his head was going down, and he's just looking at the rush. And even sometimes, it was there in the second half. In the second half, our line dominated without question. But in the first half, there were some chances for him there. And he was not able to make any of those throws, and he had a really bad night. That was one of the worst games I've seen. Obviously, last year against the Texans was horrendous, but this was just a step below it. He was one of the worst players in the NFL this weekend.
Yeah, I think his last 11 playoff quarters, he has 1 touchdown. It's like, dude, that's
Juwan Jennings has more passing touchdowns than him in the playoffs.
Yeah,
the wide receiver for the 40.
Like I said, I don't care. I don't care who you're playing. You know, it's like if you're like one of those guys, you got to show up, and it's like it's not like he's in his second year like Maye, so it's interesting. And then I mean, thought
another quick thing on that too is like Greg Roman doesn't help him out. Like Greg Roman,
awful coordinator,
really isn't that good. He's had some success, but have you seen Greg Roman's playoff stats?
I haven't seen it breakdown on it.
I haven't seen it, but I imagine they're terrible.
Dude, he averages like 11 points a game in the playoffs, Greg Roman offenses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised after seeing that one. They just
But
like there was a couple.
Well, that's
there was
why they
one play.
him.
Yeah, there was one play like he had McConkey wide open on like a crossing route, and he just checked down. It was like, what? This guy, like he has the receivers. They have a ton of talent there. So I don't know. We don't have to. This isn't a Justin Herbert Chargers podcast, but I just thought it was surprising.
Definitely not.
I thought, you know, another thing we didn't hit on enough the other night was how much that red zone defense stepped up. We were 30th ranked in the NFL in red zone defense heading to the playoffs. And I mean, they obviously had that huge goal line stand after the turnover. And then I think the next drive when the Chargers got their only points, they got deep into the red zone, and Pats held them and forced Harbaugh to kick a field goal. I mean, that's been something all year. Teams get in the red zone on them and they score touchdowns. If they're going to start, you know, holding teams in those situations, love our chances against anybody, really, if you're going to hold teams to field goals and not touchdowns. So that was great. And I think the defensive line was a huge credit for that, where they just showed up, man. Like Milton Williams showed up. Christian Barmore showed up. Caleb on Chason absolutely showed up. And
Corey Durden had 7 pressures.
Did he? I think 5 of them were in like the fourth quarter or like third, like second half. He was all over the place in the second half.
Yeah, the kid, what's his name? Taylor? Is it Lawrence Taylor? It's not Lawrence Taylor, is it?
Anthony Taylor? Is it Anthony Taylor? Well, I think it's Anthony Taylor.
It's not Anthony. It's
definitely not.
Premier League referee is Anthony Taylor.
Okay.
It's 93, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking up the roster. Leonard Taylor. He's the kid they signed off the Jets. I remember the Jets cut him, and Jets fans were like, what are we doing? This kid's pretty good. He was an undrafted free agent last year. He was showing up. I mean, on the play where they got the sack fumble, he kind of hit Herbert first. So
Elijah Ponder had some plays.
Yeah, they're all these guys. It's like and they signed this kid today. So
I know.
I don't know if you guys saw
I
this.
saw that.
Darrell Taylor, 2020 second-round pick for the Seahawks out of the University of Tennessee. He was waived by the Texans last week. He hasn't played much for them this year. He spent a lot of time on IR. He has 24 and a half career sacks in 5 seasons. Most of them came in his first 3 years in the league with Seattle. He was in Chicago last year. I mean, if nothing else, he's getting intel, but they're saying that he might get elevated for the game as like a depth pass rush piece, and that's the type of stuff they need, man. These like buy low guys who can come in and just play them on passing downs, keep guys fresh, and get after the quarterback. So I like that a lot that they picked him up.
Yeah,
me too. Take all the help on the D line you can take. You can never have enough. There's some positions you can have too many of. You can never have enough defensive linemen. They all can contribute. They all can play. You can rotate them in. That's why the Cowboys won all those Super Bowls in the 90s. People talk about the big 3 they had, the triplets, Emmett, Michael, Troy, all that. Great. They won because they had the best defensive line in the league, and they had like 8 guys who could get after the quarterback and were fresh.
Yeah, that's the big. Yeah, keep them fresh, rotate them. So,
Yep.
But to jump in to touch on what you mentioned earlier, Brew, just about the red zone stops.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I brought this up a couple times throughout the year. I fucking love the way our corners and DBs tackle.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Like,
they didn't miss a tackle all night.
No, the whole team did it. But like even specifically on that red zone, that 3rd and 4th down stop were 2 tackles. That was the Marcus Jones made the huge tackle, and the next one, Carlton Davis.
Yeah, I think that was 2nd and 3rd down, and then the 4th. Yeah, Marcus Jones' tackle was sick.
Davis was actually the next goal line drive where they tried to run that like QB sweep.
Yeah.
Carlton Davis came up
and
and smoked him on the next drive. Even still, like I said, I love the way these DBs come up and tackle, and we'll get into it more. I know there's a couple things that I think we're all in agreement about the rest of the game.
How about the balls of Zach Core on that 4th down, going casino blitz,
fucking
all
right,
out pressure, nuts on the table, make Herbert have a quick throw, and then a great play by Gonzalez to take Keenan Allen out of the play. I felt, once we saw him there, I felt really good. I was like, okay, this was probably the Chargers' best chance early to get ahead of us. They completely squandered it. They didn't take the points, and now like they're getting out of that mistake with nothing. I felt really good after that.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the replay. I kind of think Keenan Allen could have caught that pass. He just like didn't try to catch. I don't know if he thought it was going the guy behind him. If you watch the replay closely, it was kind of just like a little bit above his head, and he kind of just like watched it sail. It was very strange, that play.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've seen the replay. And when I saw it, I kind of thought the same thing, that it looked close. We were sitting at that corner of the end zone, and it, like, at least from where obviously I didn't have the perfect view, but it seemed like it wasn't even close in person. So I don't know if the angle of that clip makes it seem closer than it was, but it seemed like from where I thought he just completely sailed it. He didn't even have a chance.
Yeah, unless he was Yao Ming, he wasn't catching that ball.
I don't know. I've seen a couple angles. I'm like, I think he could have. It was weird. I think he almost looked like he thought it was going to the guy behind him. Like, it would have been a great catch, but it wasn't like, oh, there's no way he could have caught that. So, yeah, and my only other thought that I have is, I mean, I thought the offensive line, I'm a little worried about Campbell and Wilson. We'll talk about going into this game, but they're going against some monsters this week. Like this Texans team has a serious, serious defensive line, and if the Texans are going to win this game, it's going to be because of that defensive line. Campbell's got to be better. I trust that kid. He's a tough son of a bitch. Wilson, I don't know if they're going to go to Ben Brown or what, but I don't think he had it the other day. He really struggled, and I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I know we talked about this a little bit, G.
I thought Ben Brown should have started. Me and Cal were saying that last week on the pod, that like when you have a guy coming back from a concussion who hasn't practiced in 3-4 weeks, and then it's like, okay, you're going to start him against a big physical defensive line like the Chargers. They got a lot of veterans, a lot of good guys. They're going to run all these stunts, all these twists. I know Will Campbell didn't have a good game. I thought Jared Wilson was way more of a problem than Will Campbell on Sunday night. So, yeah, no, I'm definitely worried about him going forward. I don't think they will, but I wish they would start Ben Brown on Sunday night. I think he's more equipped to play and start at this point.
Yeah, I think it's and I can understand this, and I in a way I like it. Is that's the long-term decision, is to get Jared Wilson in there. Get these young kids some playoff experience right away. Ultimately, I like that. But for the game played at that point, we were in agreement, G. Like we said, I would have rode with Ben Brown, but I trust ultimately. I'm putting my trust in Josh McDaniels. If there's an offensive coordinator that has proven over and over again that he can find a way to cover up offensive line and offensive deficiencies, it is Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is a Josh McDaniels game.
I agree. Couldn't agree
this
more.
is why we have him.
Totally.
That's
Could
what I've
not
been
agree
thinking all
more.
week. Everybody's talking about the Texans defense, and they have a great defense. I'm not saying they don't. All the numbers say your eye test, all that, right? But
Mhm.
Josh McDaniels has seen the Houston Texans in many years throughout his career, whether it was 2014 with, playing against Seattle or all those great Ravens defense. Every defense does have some form of a deficiency. There's always a way you can attack it. One thing that I think Josh is going to exploit this week is that as great as Houston is defensively, they are very simple in terms of what they do. They don't
Yeah.
mix and match. They just run their defense. They remind me a lot of how the Seahawks used to play when they had the Legion of Boom in that era. They didn't have a ton of plays. They just said, hey, our guys are better than your guys. This is what we do. Beat us. And if you don't have a great offensive coordinator, you don't have great other players on the other side, then it's really difficult to do. But if you can, scheme some things up and get some coverage beaters, like I have a strong feeling that Josh McDaniels will, then you'll have a chance.
Yeah, and I think what you said of they definitely they don't disguise at a high rate at all. They'll play a handful of different defenses. They'll play a cover 3. They'll play a cover 2. They'll play a cover 6. They'll sneak in some man, but they don't disguise at a high rate. They don't necessarily blitz at a high rate. Besides, they'll blitz on third down in certain situations. But like you're for the most part, you're gonna know Drake May is gonna get up to the line of scrimmage. Josh McDaniels is going to get a chance to take a look. Drake May is going to get a chance to look. And for the most part, they're going to know what they're looking at. The Texans defensive coordinator, what is his name? Matt Burke. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure he comes from that Legion of Boom lineage. Where I think he comes from that defensive tree. I think it's a few things removed, but that still is. That's where he comes from. So they believe in lining up and we'll just beat you because we're better than you. And we've seen Josh McDaniels find ways to pick that apart. So
It's always been
Josh we
interesting.
trust this week.
Yeah, it's always been interesting to me when teams do go with that strategy because it's like, you guys are obviously really good playing it that way, but wouldn't you think could even be a little bit better if you do disguise a little bit, do mix it up a little bit and throw some confusion? Because yeah, like I said, I mean, let's hop into the preview.
One final thought. 'Cause I know
Go ahead.
I got a final thought that you guys may have touched on, but that game, a couple dudes that just stood out were all of Woodson was fucking everywhere.
Noticed
Marcus
right
Jones was fucking everywhere.
Yep.
Christian Ellis played his fucking ass off. He played that. They did the same. Honestly, they did what they used to do with Kyle Van Noy a lot. Whenever we play the Chiefs, Kyle Van Noy would do the same thing. He'd be up near the line of scrimmage. He wouldn't necessarily pass rush, almost a QB spy. But as soon as the QB left the pocket, Christian Ellis, Kyle Van Noy was going and rushing the passer or cutting him off or something. He was doing that all night, and he was sideline to sideline playing his ass off.
Unbelievable speed. He is one of the fastest linebackers in the NFL. He could fly. There was one play, can't remember what point of the game it was, maybe third or fourth quarter. Barmore got a pretty good pressure on Herbert. Herbert escaped, and Ellis beelined for him immediately and caught up to him and forced a long incompletion when he had Vidal open down the sideline. He could scoot that kid.
Yeah, he played his ass off, and then it was interesting even just watching, I know we brought him up. I mean, credit to Kerr. The scheme was fucking great. They went after him. They attacked him. I know we talked a little bit about that in the preview. He's put some pressure on him, and he absolutely did that. And then he mixed it up, with some of the coverages. I rewatched some of it. Some of the coverage we were running were just weird. Honestly, we had Jalen Hawkins lining up at middle linebacker at one point in the game. It was just weird.
I mean, Bobby Spillane was saying after the game, Chargers guys were coming up to him and saying, we had no idea what your coverages you guys were doing. We were kind of lost a little bit.
Yeah, I saw him say that. I love that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking as you're talking about all these guys, I mean, for one, like, when we had Spillane out, Milt Williams out, like, I think you got your Corey Durdens of the world, your Leonard Taylors, your Gregories, your Ellis, Jack Gibbons, all these guys had to kind of step up a little bit and put a little more added responsibility on them. And I think that they all kind of grew as players over the past couple months when those guys were out. And I think it's just interesting. I mean, you look at this roster, how many guys are on their fourth, fifth stop in the league, didn't make it in a couple stops, practice squads. They're in, they're 26, 27 now. They really become grown men, and they found a spot in New England. I mean, we're talking about Ellis. He's on his 15. He's finally getting time. Ben Brown's another one. I've been looking at these guys' Wikipedias as we're talking. Ben Brown, I mean, he's bounced all over the league. He just got a 2-year extension.
Right?
Yeah, he's played for Cincinnati, Seattle, Arizona, and Vegas till he got in the Pats last year, but he never really played anywhere. Ellis has been on 5 different squads. I mean, all these guys have bounced around. Corey Durden obviously got cut by the Giants, and it's like you got this motivated team, and Vrabel's done an amazing job in a Belichick-esque way of finding guys who do certain things well, and they're putting them in position to do what they do well. These guys all have a chip on their shoulder, something to prove, and it's been a fucking awesome team to root for, man.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are awesome. I was watching the Vrabel Drake May mic'd up on YouTube today. It's like a 17.
Oh my God,
I love this team, man. Like, it's just been such a special season. I just can't get enough. So, yeah, let's
come out in January.
Dude, when I was watching it, I had to pause it for a second. I had to ask Vanessa to shut up so I could listen because I couldn't miss a word. I was like, I'm sorry. Can you just shut up? I'm trying to listen to this.
Yeah, dude, it was. I can't get enough, man. I really can't.
Quick thing on your, like, some of these pieces, I think it gets lost of a Ben Brown and Christian Ellis. Those are two Elliott Wolf guys.
Yeah, good point. Good call.
Well, those are Elliott Wolf guys that remained on the team and are making plays this year and are getting playing time, getting real burn.
Yeah.
So
it's funny. Like, I look at a lot of these guys. They're all 27, 28. Either Jalen Hawkins is another one. Jack Gibbons is 27. So love to see it. But let's in the interest of time, let's hop on to the Texans preview. So Patriots -3, over unders 41.5. I cannot wait for this football game, man. Like, looking at these EPA stats, we got the Patriots, the number 1 offensive football this year by EPA. Number 1 in dropback EPA per play, number 25 in rush EPA per play, going up against the Texans, who are the number 2 defense. Really, I don't know how the hell they aren't number 1. Number 1, so you get the number 1 dropback EPA versus an offense versus defense, and they got the number 3 rush EPA. This is a hell of a defensive unit, one of the better defensive units, probably the best defensive unit we've had in the NFL in the past 3, 4, 5 years, or at least close to that level, right? I mean, obviously the Eagles last year were really good. And then you look at the other side of the ball. I mean, the Texans are only number 22 on offense, 17 in drop back, 30 in rush. I mean, this offense is nothing to write home about. Patriots number 11 defense, 10th in drop back EPA, 16th in rush. I mean, and now we got this, I think if you had Milton Williams and Spillane for most of the season, that rush number would be a bit higher. So it's really, a clash of it's almost similar to last week, where you got like a really good defense against a really good offense, and then a pretty good defense against a mediocre offense. But I think the Texans are just a better defensive team than the Chargers. But yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, plenty to get into here, but I'll let you guys start it off. What do you think, G?
I love the way we match up with this team defensively, like our defense against their offense. I think it's good. Everybody's talking about the Texans defense this week, and rightfully so. The way you hear some of the national media guys, might as well not even show up this week because their defense is so good. But I love the way our defense is going to be able to attack these guys, especially now that Nico Collins is not going to play this week. He was carted off the field on Monday night. It's a second concussion in 2 months. Like, they won't let him play. There's no way. He's not getting through the protocol. So they're going to be relying on a couple of rookies and Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, and then, Christian Kirk, who I feel very confident of Marcus Jones kind of taking him out of the game. So, okay, you're going to have 2 rookies and Xavier Hutchinson going against Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis. I love that for us. Their offensive line is horrendous, the Texans' offensive line. Our defensive line should feast. Woody Marks, I think, is a serviceable running back. He's a rookie. I don't know. I don't like he's, it's not like we're facing, Jamal Lewis from 2000 here. You know what I mean? He's all right. I don't think he's anything special. And CJ Stroud. I mean, he was horrible on Monday Night Football. His defense, won him the game. He didn't really have to do anything. So,
No, we almost lost the game.
Yeah, he had 5 fumbles.
Yeah.
That's so hard to do.
I know.
It's so hard to do in the NFL. So I feel like the Texans are going to have a hard time scoring, and I feel like we'll do enough. And then one key factor that I was thinking of, so their offensive coordinator is Nick Caley, who is long-time Patriots assistant. We know all the tricks of their offense. We're going to know everything that they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't see the Texans scoring more than 7-10 points in this game. I think it's going to be another low-scoring game for Houston. That's my initial thoughts on the game.
We match up with them. I love.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, if Gonzalez plays and Collins doesn't, that is a huge swing. Because, I mean, looking at their receivers, I mean, Collins was 71 for 1,100 yards, essentially, 6 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz had 777 yards, 82 catches. He's reliable. But then it's Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, it's Christian Kirk. None of these guys really did that much this year. And I think the way we played last week, it gives me so much confidence that this defensive line could, what makes no sense? Their offensive line by PFF was the 27th rated offensive line, but they were 5th in pass block rating. Tell me how that one makes sense.
Because they because Stroud gets rid of the ball so fast. That's why.
That just gives them a better, but even still, like that, those numbers just don't make sense.
Those numbers are skewed.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It's like this is the same rating system. Like, what are they, like 48th in rush defense? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Rush pass blocking? I don't know.
But yeah, their offensive line definitely has some issues. It gets over, obviously. You stole my thunder, G, about Nick Haley and Josh McDaniels and all that. I think that's going to be. It goes both ways. Are they going to talk to Nick Haley and be like, hey, defensively, how can we stop Josh McDaniels? Like, what does Josh like to do? Yeah, they're going to do that. But then at the same time, so are we. And, Josh taught Nick Haley, Josh, handpicked Nick Haley from the same college he fucking went to and legit groomed him.
So that phrase, Josh taught him everything that Nick knows. He didn't teach him everything that Josh knows. You know what I mean?
It sounds like you guys are saying Nick Haley, one of the worst running backs in the history of the Wakefield football franchise. also, the name of the Nick Haley sub, the infamous fake Nick Haley sub. I don't know if you guys know about that, but he claimed there was a sub named after him.
I was just waiting. I was waiting to move on.
Yeah.
One other point is with the offensive line is they have a center. Their center, Jake Andrews, former Patriot.
Yep.
Not a lot of people know he was a former Patriot because he never fucking played when he was here. So he was a backup Patriot lineman, and now he's starting at center. And Milt Williams and Christian Barmore are going to eat his lunch on Sunday.
They're starting Trent Brown. I mean, Trent Brown was like a good player 8 years ago when we won 7 years ago when we won our last Super Bowl, and he was motivated to get money, and he was 26. He hasn't been a good player since he ate his way out of the Raiders, when Gruden gave him all that money. I mean, they're starting him in a playoff game in 2026. I mean, I don't know, man. They got some suspect players starting for them on offense.
They do, but you got to give when Trent Brown is motivated, he has been pretty good. He's just
he's a fucking massive human being.
I mean, I don't want to I think this team. Let's give this team some credit though. I mean, they started the season 0-3. They've gone 13-2 since.
Yeah,
and their losses. They lost to the Rams, the Bucs in week 2 when they were good. The Jags, the Seahawks, and Denver. They've only lost to the best teams in the league. I mean, they beat the Niners, they beat the Jags, they beat the Bills, they beat the Chiefs when the Chiefs were still good. They had Mahomes, they beat the Chargers. This is a good football team. They have a tremendous defense. But yeah, I've been just thinking about this match. I really got deep into some research and the numbers today, looking at their season. I cannot wait to see how this plays out. It's just such two tough football teams going at it. And diving into CJ Stroud, he was 13th in completion percentage over expected. He was 19th in EPA per play. He was 21st in completion percentage over expected, 16th in success rate. On the season, 3,000 yards in 14 games, 19 touchdowns, 8 picks, 209 rush yards, and a touchdown. Last week, obviously, like you said, he fumbled 5 times. He threw a pick. I mean, him and the center were all over the place. The numbers look a little better, 250 passing yards and a touchdown and a pick. He was shaky as hell. One thing I noticed looking at these stats that I was really interesting, his home versus road splits are dramatically different. So on the road, 8 picks, 1 at home. On the road, 61% passer. At home, 69%. He took 15 sacks in the road. He took only 8 at home. He had an 81 QB rating on the road and a 107.4 at home. He's been a lot. And in some of that schedule, they played some of these tough teams on the road, but it's going to be shitty weather. He's going to be a little bit in his head. A lot of talk about how bad he was on Monday night. It's going to be cold. It's going to be a fucking raucous crowd at Gillette Stadium, ready to eat this kid's lunch. The Patriots defense is feeling good. They're not going to have their best receiver. I think the Patriots are going to come out and they need to hit the shit out of this kid. And he's going to, I think they can make him fold and really wilt under the pressure. I don't think he's that kid is just, there's so many, like you see him, he's always in he's after his rookie season where he won a playoff game. He's talking to podcasts like he's one of the top 5 in the league. He's like, dude, you are not that good. You've completely come down to earth since then. And I just want to see them beat the shit out of this kid. And I cannot wait to see what happens on Sunday, boys.
Might snow, too, on Sunday, Brew.
I know. I saw that.
Little wintry mix. I saw that.
I need it to drop like 30 degrees. It's still going to be like in the mid-30s. I need some cold.
I want it to be same.
They're coming from Texas. Like, this team's not used to playing. They obviously got a W, but I think like freaking Stoneham Spartans could have beat Aaron Rodgers in that Pittsburgh team the other night. So,
yeah, I think we need to, from a defensive standpoint, I think this is going to be so similar to this Chargers game. I think it's gonna almost mirror match it.
Yeah,
from a defensive standpoint too. I think
I agree.
You gotta stop the run, put them in obvious pass situations. If we put them in obvious pass situations, I don't think they can handle it.
That's what I'm saying. Stop the run, put him in 3rd and 8. I'll both say Woody Marks did have a good game. It was best game of his career the other night. 19 carries, 112 yards, a tutty. But I don't think he's that great. He gets hurt like every game. Nick Chubb's done. And them not having Collins is huge. Collins is a stud. And
he's
the
a
rest of these
receiver
guys,
in the NFL.
Yeah, he's a superstar receiver. And, it's like this isn't a great offense to begin with when he plays. It just feels like the matchup. I don't know if I'd be saying this if we didn't just play that well against the Chargers. I almost call them San Diego. After watching how we played this, I just love the vibe this defense is playing with. Like you said, G, I don't think we're going to need to score a ton of points. I don't think we're going to score a ton of points, though, as we go.
Me neither. I don't think I don't think we are either. I have a lot of respect for D'Amico Ryans and like the defense and what they do. Like, they're legit, you know what I mean? But we're legit on our side of the ball, and I think what's going to win the game for us is that we have a better quarterback, we have a better offense, we have better running backs. Because of the health of Nico Collins, we have better wide receivers, we have a better tight end. Like, we have an overall better offense than they do. And I think we have a great offensive coordinator, and I think that's going to be really like the difference in this game, where I think who knows, we might score 17, maybe 20 points if we're lucky, and that will probably be more than enough to win this game.
Yeah, you guys think that the Texans score more than 20 points in this game?
Hell no.
No. That's why I'm saying the only way, or not on offense, not on offense. There's one way. There's one way the Houston, like if you really want to break it down to like a simple way, there's only one way the Houston Texans win this game, and it's if Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter go win it, take over the game. That's the only way. The Patriots can win it. It's absolutely possible. Sure. There's a reason why we said we did not want to see this team when we were going back to some of these playoff preview matches.
Yeah.
They definitely strike some fear. So, but that's the only way they win this game, if you ask me. The Patriots could win this in a bunch of different ways. Drake Maye could go light that defense up. We could run down their fucking throat. We can win on defense. Like we can win in a multitude of ways. I don't see Houston winning in any other way other than those two taking over the game completely.
Their defense will have to score 2 touchdowns again, which they did on Monday night. The chances of them doing that again, knock on wood, it's very unlikely. That's probably how they would win this game. as if they
Yeah,
score 2 touchdowns.
they're gonna have to
Defensive.
abuse Campbell and Morgan Moses, and I mean, their pass rush just looking at these guys. I mean, Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. It's as lethal
Yeah.
as a pass rushing duo in the league's bad in a long time. I mean, Anderson had 12 sacks. He's just probably the second best rusher in football right now to Myles Garrett. I mean, Michael Parsons obviously really good. He's out. Danielle Hunter had 15 sacks. PFF had Anderson with the 4th best pass rate in football, pass rush grade. Hunter 7th. How do you think we're going to deal with these guys? I think we see a lot of these. We seem to have a lot of success throwing the ball when we play 6 offensive linemen. That obviously makes it easier to block too.
I think
that's
that's
the
exactly what we're
answer.
gonna do.
Yeah. I remember when Charlie back in the day. I'm going back into my memory banks when Charlie Weiss was the offensive coordinator. I'm talking like when we were kids, when we would play great pass rushing teams. A lot of times we do a little bit of a quick game, a little bit. We cut the tackles would cut the defensive ends right at the snap of the ball. Cut balls out in 1-2 seconds. But you can't do that obviously every play, right? They're a fast defense, but you do that a couple times when it's cold and it's gross out. Those guys don't want to get hit low, and that will slow down their pass rush. I would like that, like the first play of the game. Just have Will Campbell cut him. First play, you get a little shock. You don't want to see that. I think that's going to be important. And then I think we'll have to use the 6th offensive lineman for sure. And if there's any form of, being able to protect Drake and give him some time, the Texans are in. I'm sure your EPA numbers will show this, Brew, if you look it up. The Texans are vulnerable on the deep ball. They can be had if you give a little time. Yep.
Yeah, there's one difference
We were
between
all
them and the
thinking it.
Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers were first in explosive plays allowed defensively this year. They were really, really good at limiting those 20-plus yard passes, or I think it's 12-plus yards rushes or 20-plus yard passes. I think the Texans were only 14th. For as good as they were, they are vulnerable of getting beat on big plays. And we're so good at generating explosive plays. And that's what's hit a couple of those, right? Hit a couple deep passes. Or I think this is a game where hopefully we can get a Travion Henderson runs behind the defense and scores a touchdown. Like that could a game-changing play from him. We've seen it enough. Kyle Williams, can he get behind the defense? Yeah, can Booty get behind? We saw Booty beat Stingley. Yeah. So Derek Stingley, that's the other guy for them. He's the first team All-Pro corner. I've seen Taylor Kyles, Patriots reporter. Yeah. He was mentioned today on Twitter that Derek Stingley, for a first-team All-Pro corner, he had the 5th highest completion percentage allowed and targeted, 2nd most yards per reception allowed, tied for the most 20-plus yard receptions allowed. I don't know how he got first-team All-Pro corner with that. I think that's a lot of reputation with those stats, being a part of a good defense and but it's it's not like this guy can't get beat. He's a really good player, but I mean, I don't know who they throw on Diggs. Diggs likes to get involved in the slot. I think we're gonna need a big Diggs game in this one too. They got some good players though, man. This kid Aziz Al-Shair made the Pro Bowl, 103 tackles, led the team. Henry Tuoto, which is a really great name to say, 95 tackles, 9 tackles for loss. Like this team, we saw them kick the absolute shit out of Josh Allen on a Thursday night. It was probably the most impressive defensive performance I've seen all season. We're gonna what worries me, like you said, is if those guys just abuse our tackles. I mean, we saw a little bit last week where Will Campbell didn't have a great game. I think Morgan Moses had a good game, but we need to keep Drake in the pocket, give him some time to throw. Maybe he makes some plays with his legs in this one. I think you can run on this team a little bit. I think we've talked about that a little bit. And Ramondre is a huge part of this one because he's been absolutely sensational the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think the run game is one of those things where, again, this defense we've given its prop. We know it's a fucking very good defense. I think they have the number 1 stuff rate on stopping the run, meaning it's 0 to 1 yards. But they also are near bottom of the league in allowing chunk plays in the run game. So it may be a little bit, and that's why I hope we're a little consistent in the run game, and we have the opportunity to be a little consistent in the run game, because it may be those 1-2 yard runs a little bit over and over again, and then fucking break one type of thing, because they do let up explosive plays in the run game, and specifically up the middle. They're really good defending outside run, understandably, with those 2 ends, but there's some yards to be had up the middle.
Yeah, and they can. The quarterbacks have been. Some quarterbacks are able to run on them a little bit too. For sure. So Drake's got to take advantage with his legs when the opportunities are there for sure.
Got to protect himself against this defense, because they will play to the whistle. Sometimes through the whistle. Yeah.
Jair is one of the dirtiest players in the fucking league, so he scares me, man. Stay away from Drake. Drake, go down. Please don't be anywhere near
Yep.
that guy. He almost killed Trevor
Yep.
Lawrence
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah. So
Yep.
let's go over some key players. I mean, I got a bunch written down. I'm sure we have some overlap, and you guys have some different ones. The first one, we just talked about it. I think Ramondre and Travion are going to be huge. Can we I think you can really stop a great pass rush by running the football, making them be wary of the run, take pressure out the passing game. Ramondre's been so damn good, and if he plays like he's been playing, it's such an X factor for this offense. And then, like I said, I think Travion, we've seen him bust some big runs in some big games, right? He did it against the Bucs. He did it against the Bills. He can bust one in this one. It could be a game changer because it's not going to take a ton of offense to win this one, and just a big play, which changed things so much.
Yeah, my number one is a combo. It's Drake Maye / Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, I mean,
Fair
this
enough.
is, again, what did I say at the beginning? This is why we hired Josh McDaniels. This is why he's here. I have a lot of faith and belief in his ability to come up with a great game plan for this. I'd say my number one, though, because, my assumption is that, of course, we're going to need Drake to play well, of course. My number one is Will Campbell. Will Campbell has, he's been getting a lot of shit on social media this week. I loved his answers today. He's like, I don't give a shit what someone on Twitter says who has a fake name, who, is just tweeting behind a keyboard like that. I'm a perfectionist. I want to win every play. So, I love his attitude and his mindset going into this game. Let's not forget, when he was a freshman at LSU, he stonewalled Will Anderson when LSU played Alabama in 2022, shut him out, and Will Anderson was the number 3 pick in the draft a few months later. So, not like he doesn't know him.
Yeah. Yeah,
I like that little nugget. I didn't know that.
Will Campbell, dude. Every time I see that kid talk, I'm just like, this kid he's just the best.
Mm-hmm.
I got Kayshon Boutte. I think they're gonna try to shut down Diggs, and like we said, explosive plays are how you beat this team. Kayshon Boutte, especially early in the season, had a tendency to make a lot of big explosive plays. We saw him make one the other night. With Kyle Williams could be thrown in there too, right? But I think I got a good feeling Kayshon Boutte goes out there and makes a play.
Yeah, I'm riding with Steph Diggs. Diggs number 2. They play zone at a high rate. Diggs, I think, is going to need to be a big factor in this game.
Yeah.
My number 2 is the big boy. Big dogs come out in January. Milton Williams.
Yeah.
He's got a great match. You said it earlier. He's got a great matchup against Jake Andrews, who couldn't play on this team when we weren't very good a couple years ago. If you couldn't play on those Patriots teams, and now you're starting in the NFL, get the hell out of here. This is going to be another one where Milton Williams, who knows, maybe he's like the closer on this team. He gets another one in there, and maybe 1 or 2. I think Milton Williams going to have a big game.
I want those boys up front to kick the living shit out of CJ Stroud. It's all I can think about. CJ, you know what else? It was when he tried to big boy Caleb Williams, and he was like, bro, you're going to be okay in this league. It's like, dude, you've played you're 4 months older than him. Shut up.
Yeah.
Caleb's already better than you, dude. You absolute bum. Yeah,
you're right. That was a
I got Carlton Dave. Yeah, he's a loser, dude. The kid's a loser. He's like, you haven't done anything. And the other night he was so bad. And then you see him chirping the crowd. I was like, dude, you just fucking fumbled 5 times. You just won because your defense put up 6 points.
Dude, him running off the field saying, you're mad. You're mad. It's like, oh my God. Dude, that was venom from the
I want venom from the crowd on Sunday. Just
I could have quarterbacked
I just feel like he's the type.
Win on Monday.
Huh?
I said I could have quarterbacked the Texans to win on Monday. He didn't do anything. He didn't do a thing.
And I think he's the type that the crowd can just get to him and he can fold, he did the other night. They just won because they didn't let up 6 points. Maybe he was pretty good on some third downs, but yeah, dude. And then I said Carlton Davis. I feel like Gonzalez is probably gonna play. I wrote this down yesterday, but even if he does, it's like, all right, they're probably not gonna pick on Gonzalez. Marcus Jones has been a stud. Carlton Davis has been he gets a penalty every year, and then I love our matchups with these corners on these receivers. I just don't see how they can throw the ball on us. They can probably scheme some stuff open. Like you said, we got this Nick Caley thing down. It just feels like a great matchup for our defense. It's not a super complicated game. Can we protect the quarterback? Can we run the ball a little bit? If we can, we should have success. So, I don't know if you guys have any more keys to the game or any other key players.
Number 3 for me is Milton Williams.
Yeah.
I think that's he can take over this game. So
Mine was going to be your guy, Brew. Keyshawn Booty, a little LSU on LSU crime like he did Drake's first game when he took Derek Stingley to the house. I don't know. Maybe we get a little Booty house call on Sunday night. I don't know.
love that.
I love Keyshawn. I loved he played well. He stepped up. You know, he's battling him. He stepped up. This will be, if we get through this one, we'll get Matt Collins back, the conference championship in all likelihood. But yeah, I mean, I think, we've got all these keys to the game written down. I feel like we've said them all. I mean, the last one I got is do not turn the ball over. Drake can't be that loose with the ball again. Like this team's gonna be there. He's gonna have to take a few sacks in this game, right? Like he's just tuck the ball and get to the ground. We've got to punt. You got to punt. Like we said, I don't think this offense is gonna march down the field on us that easily. And I think turning Stroud over on the flip side is a huge part. Like he's going to be coming into this thinking, I can't be as loose with the ball as I was against Pittsburgh. But I think we're going to be able to exploit that line. So anything else, guys, before we get to the prediction?
I think it's don't let up the big play. Like you said, I think don't let up the big play. Make this offense, if they are going to get points, if they are going to score, make them earn it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's the only that's how they're.
Don't turn the ball over. Don't let your offense you can't get completely decimated and play your brand of football defensively, aggressively. Blitz the shit out of CJ Stroud like you did Herbert on Sunday night, and you should be looking pretty good.
Yep, and I'm curious too. One thing I wanted to bring, I couldn't find a spot to slip it in early in the pod, was when we were talking about McDaniels attacking this defense and the 6 linemen and stuff like that. I'm very curious if we take that old Belichick / McDaniels approach and run right at them. I know Will Anderson. I know they're good in the run game, but just to wear them out over time, make them fucking fight off double teams every chance you get. I'm really curious to see if McDaniels takes that approach, because I know we used to do that when we played all these guys, J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald. When we played these guys, we'd make them work on every down.
Yep.
Make them work in the run game.
Yeah, I feel like this year we have had kind of a strange tendency to sometimes go away from the run even when it's working. And I don't think this is a game you can do that, because it's like you just got to tire those guys out, and you don't want to be letting Will Anderson chase after Drake Maye all day and Danielle Hunter. So it's prediction time. I'm going to go 2013 Pats. I mean, it might be a lower score than that. The total of 41.5, it actually went up from yesterday. It was 40.5 yesterday. I don't see a lot of points being scored in this one. Like, I'd be shocked if this thing goes over 40. So for you bettors out there, I definitely think the under is probably a good call.
Yeah.
You got Cal. You
going 17-10. 17-10 Pats.
I'm gonna go 20-7 Patriots. I don't got a lot of confidence in this Texans team scoring too much. I think we might kick their ass a little bit. I feel good. I love the way our defense is going to play, and I think we're going to score one on defense. I think we might get a Marcus Jones pick.
Carlton
6.
Davis.
I think or your boy, Carlton Davis, yeah.
Yeah, love it. No, I cannot wait. This is what January is all about. This is what being a Patriots fan is all about. Trying to get back to what used to be an annual holiday, the AFC Conference Championship.
Our birthright.
So, yeah, legit. So I can't, this week feels like it's going by kind of fast too. I mean, it's Wednesday night. We got 4 more sleeps till
four more sleep. What are you, 10 years old before Christmas?
Dude, I cannot wait for this game. Like, the more I've been digging into it, I'm like, I just cannot. It's such a fun little matchup. And it's still seeing people like Patriots still haven't beat nobody. It's like, what do you want them to do, man? Like, all they're doing is playing the teams in front of them. They're going to beat this team. And they're like, the Texans offense sucks. Like, and it's good. Keep talking. I can't get enough. I'm fired up, man. But let's transition into this. We've brought them a little later than usual, but let's talk into some about the other football games this weekend. So we got Saturday 4:30, Bills at Broncos. Bills -1.5. Over/under is 46.5. Another great football game. Bills 3rd-ranked offense. They're at the 13th-ranked defense. Broncos have the 15th-ranked offense, the 8th-ranked defense, which feels a little low, but they got a good defense. But yeah, I mean, this one comes down to, I think, similar to last week. Can Josh Allen put the Bills on his back again? And what do you guys think?
It's going to be really hard for Josh to win this game because they're so banged up. I know he's really hurt. I thought the Jaguars were going to do it last week. Obviously, I was wrong. Josh was Superman on Sunday afternoon. They had two receivers tear their ACLs on Sunday. Like the chances of that happening is
Crazy.
unbelievable. But I don't know. It's tough for me because I just hate Sean Payton so much. I think he's such an arrogant scumbag coach. He was like talking down to a reporter today who asked him about Dre Greenlaw coming back. He's like, you don't know anything about run defense. Okay, dude, chill out. Go raid the pill cabinet again like you did in New Orleans, you bum. So I don't know. As much as I don't want to see Josh Allen in the AFC Championship game, I'd love to see Sean Payton lose. So but it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a really hard game for Josh to win. Denver's a tough place to play at.
Yeah, I think I would love the Bills to win, but I don't know. If I pick the Bills, it's hoping, so I have to go. I think the Broncos are going to win. The only way I can see the Bills winning that game is Josh Allen going absolutely nuclear and Bo Nix crapping all over himself after some rust.
See,
some rust on him.
I'm looking at this. I mean, I think you beat the Bills by being able to run on them. They don't stop the run well. They were 31st ranked rush defense by EPA per play. The Broncos were only 16th in rush in the league. They're not a great running team. And it's like the Bills were 8th against the pass. The Broncos, I mean, it's basically like you look at this game and you really want to bet Bo Nix over Josh Allen. And that's when you look at that, you take a long, hard look at it. I'm riding with Josh Allen any day of the week. I know he's in a tough position, but I just think it's a little scary because if we play them, it's like, man, Josh is coming off winning in Jacksonville and winning in Denver, and now he's coming to England. But I couldn't in my right mind. Like, it's the type of game you'd be sitting there, Bo Nix throws a pick early, and you're like, why the hell did I bet on Bo Nix? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Bills is just too much attrition to that team. And it's like, they are coming off the bye. Sometimes you come out a little rusty. Sometimes you come out ready to play. It's going to be a fun game to watch, man. These games are all phenomenal. But yeah, I'm riding with the Bills. I think they'll get it done, and I think we're going to have a long destined Bills Patriots AFC Championship next week.
I'm going to pick the Bills. Yeah. I'm gonna pick the Bills to win too, Brew, just because, again, what you said. Is Josh Allen really gonna lose to Bo Nix? Like, is that like Josh Allen's lost to some like great quarterbacks? He's lost to Joe Burrow. He's lost to Patrick Mahomes, obviously. I don't know if he's gonna lose to Bo Nix. I don't know. And I've been a Broncos hater for a long period of time, and I kind of felt like the Jags were better than the Broncos. I felt like the Jaguars were a better team, especially down the stretch. The Broncos didn't really play well to finish the season. Yeah, they won games, but they didn't play well, so it might be a little rusty. Yeah, I think Bills win 23-20.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 27-14 Broncos. I don't know. I think the Broncos. You give Sean Payton. You give Sean Payton 2 weeks. You give Sean Payton 2 weeks to scheme up some stuff, get healthy. I think that defense is so legit. I don't know if the Bills have enough. They played their ass. I love the way they played. They showed some fight in Jacksonville. Yep. It's a great fucking win, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to do it back to back, going to Denver, beat up. Just a tough ask. But if there's a guy that can do it, it's Josh Allen.
It's such a fun matchup, man.
I won't be betting on it. I'm just going to be a fan because I really can't get a read on the game. It is tough.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good one. And then Saturday night, 8 o'clock, 49ers at Seahawks. Seahawks -7, over under 44.5. We've seen these teams play week 1 and week 18. The Niners won in week 1. The Seahawks kind of shut them down week 18. They won 13-3. Niners had the 6th ranked offense, 24th ranked defense. Seahawks had the 14th ranked offense and the number 1 ranked defense. But we really saw it play out that game. I mean, the Niners are so banged up. Kittle tore his Achilles last week. It feels like a good spot for Seattle. Like, they're coming off the bye. They got a good team. They're not going to have to, like, as long as their defense shows up, they're at home. They're going to have an awesome crowd. As well as, you gotta give a lot of credit to this Niners team for the season they've had. I mean, a lot of teams would be in this position, have one of your best players get hurt, they'd roll over and die, and they've just kept fighting. They've just kept playing football and acting like they belong to be there. So, a lot of credit to them, but Purdy's going to have to be a lot better than he was in that Week 18 matchup. He was only 13-27 that game, 127 yards and a pick. They're going to need, like, really, really good Purdy to win this one. So, I don't know. What do you think, Cal?
Yeah, I think it's Seahawks all day. I just don't. The Seahawks, their defense, I think, is just gonna. There's not enough there right now for the 49ers without Kittle. I think McCaffrey's still a little banged up. I just think that defense is gonna be tough to handle for him going on the road. Tough place to play. Yeah, I just think the Seahawks are a better team.
Yeah, I'm with Cal. I mean, yeah, I'm with both you boys. This is Seattle's time. It's your boy, Bruce Sam Darnold's time to get to an NFC Championship game. I don't think he's gonna have to do too much though. I think he's just got to keep 10-2 on the wheel, hand the ball off 35 times. Feed Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, let that defense attack. No Kittle. I love Kittle. That sucked to see. I felt so bad for him.
I
That
know.
was awful. Such a likable guy. I feel like this is a 27-10 game, honestly, maybe 27-17 game. I think Seattle will win going away.
Yeah, in that Week 18 game, Darnold was 20-26 for 198 yards, but they ran the ball for 180. So probably going to be a similar game plan. I mean, that was in San Fran too. So yeah, I think they cover too. I mean, if San Fran hangs in this game, man, credit to them, credit to Shanahan, credit to Purdy. I've gained a ton of respect for Purdy this year. I used to think like, yeah, it's Shanahan, but that kid's a player. He's a tough bastard. I mean, he was really good last week, but Demarcus Robinson stepped up last week. 111 yards, touchdown, 6 catches. These guys just pulling up guys who don't even know we're on the team still. And I mean, it's like you never know. McCaffrey could get out there, shoulder the load, make some plays. Donald could piss down his leg like we've seen him do in big spots.
Sure.
So, but the fact that he's got home field, I think it's so much easier to kind of have the crowd behind you in these situations. So,
yeah.
And then the last game, Sunday night, 6:30, Rams at Bears. Another just phenomenal matchup. So you got the Rams -3.5 right now. Over-under is 48.5. You got the second-ranked Rams offense with the 7th-ranked defense against the Bears' 8th-ranked offense, 21st-ranked defense. I don't know how the Bears won that game last week, man. I mean, both of these teams played really, really good games last week. I thought the Panthers were going to pull that out late. Like, I really did. I don't know what the Panthers were doing on their last defensive drive. They've been blitzing Stafford all day, putting pressure on him, and he was not playing well under pressure. And then, like, the last drive, it was like, we can't. I don't know what they were thinking. They just kind of, played prevents defense, let him go right down the field. And he made a great throw in the last play. Yeah, the last throw to Parkinson was a dime, but he didn't play great. I mean, I think you definitely kind of saw his faults. Like, he's old. Doesn't move well. If you put pressure on him, he's not going to be accurate. He's going to get hit. He's got a phenomenal supporting cast. So both of those games, I mean, we didn't really get to talk about those much in the podcast. We're just crazy football games. What a football day it was Saturday. I mean, the Bears, they were dead. The Bears were dead. I've never seen a team more dead. I don't know how they won that game still. Matt LaFleur kind of had some brain farts late in that game.
Yeah.
But Caleb,
loser coach.
That team, man, it's like, yeah.
Frauds.
Yeah.
Frauds.
This Bears team, they just go down. They'll be down 14 in the fourth quarter, and it's like, nothing. We got this. Like, it's unlike any team I can remember. Like, football, it's hard to keep pulling these things out. But I do kind of like this matchup for them because I think you can throw on this Rams team. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead.
I think it's the Bears won that game because the Packers lost it, and the Packers lost it because, like I was telling you, and I'll say it over and over and over and over and over again, the Green Bay Packers are the biggest fraud good football team in the NFL, and it just showed it again. That was pathetic that they lost that game.
It was, man. Like it defies everything. Like it ended up 24-48, which isn't good. But it felt like for a long stretch of that game, he was just doing everything right. I don't know, man. Caleb made some plays though. You got to give him credit.
Oh, he did.
Made some
absolutely
bad throws. Like he looked so flustered, but then he just kept coming. And this guy Ben Johnson's a hell of a football coach. This is a great matchup. What do you guys got in this one?
I was gonna say last thing I'll say about that Packers game, man. They should have made Matt LaFleur hitchhike back to Green Bay. I would have pulled like what they did to Steve Sarkisian. Remember when they wouldn't let Steve Sarkisian on the bus at USC when they fired him? I would have done that to Matt LaFleur. You ain't coming back with us, brother. Yeah, and you got to give your game check to the Jimmy Fund. You can't get paid for that, dude. That was embarrassing.
Dude, honestly.
And it's not surprising. He was the same coach that was on. He was also an assistant on the Atlanta Falcons in 2016 Super Bowl that they blew to the Patriots. So it's in his DNA to choke. But regardless, off those loser Packers, this is going to be a really fun game. The Bears, I feel like they're kind of like I don't know if a team of destiny is the kind of right word, but like the fact that they keep just pulling these wins out of their asses is unbelievable. Caleb Williams was horrible for 3 quarters. Then he hits that absolute dime on 4th and 8, escapes a sack, gives them life. They win the game. You know, it's going to be the one thing that's going to be tough for the Rams. This is going to be their coldest game that they've played in by 40 degrees this year. It's going to be 14 degrees in Chicago on Sunday afternoon. The coldest game the Rams have played in is 54 degrees. It's a 40-degree difference. That's tough. They're a dome team, you know.
They're a dome
It's
team.
bear
Yeah, no,
weather.
I love the Bears in this game. I think it's
That's a nugget.
Yeah, the Bears just have something special, man. Like there's something with that team in that city right now that like they just believe. And I kind of think this Rams team's right for the picking. I don't know. I like this. There's something about them. For as good as they are, they just keep not like pulling these games out. They're not like blowing anybody out anymore. You know, earlier in the season they look like a juggernaut. Now all these games are close. I mean, the Panthers fucking suck, and they really almost won that football game. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what. I hope I'm in a good state of mind after the Pats game, and I'm like ready to just watch this game and enjoy it, and not like I don't even want to watch football right now because I can't wait to watch this game.
Yeah. That is an unbelievable little nugget of information there because that's a crazy stat.
Matty
By
Stafford,
40 degrees, that's
Matty
nuts.
Stafford don't want to get hit in that weather, man. You're getting all those bones a little bit brittle. He doesn't like getting. I think he was like he was a one.
Dude,
he was a
the
1.4.
media has turned Brew into a true hater. Just the way that he's saying, you call him brittle bone.
Little bone Matt.
You're a true fucking hater now, dude.
Do you know,
the media's
do you know what Matt Stafford's quarterback rating was when he was pressured against Carolina the other day?
No.
1.4. He was terrible. He couldn't.
Oh, shit.
He's got to be cold. I mean, dude, I can't wait to watch. I'm going with the Bears, at least to cover, and I'm going with the over. I think there's going to be a bunch of points in this game.
Take the money line, Drew. Take the money line. Take the Bears money line. I know you want to.
I probably will.
Take the Bears money line.
It's going to depend a lot about what happens. It's going to depend a lot about what happens on Sunday at 3 o'clock first off before we get into this game.
One correction from me. The media has not turned you into a Matt Stafford hater. Dan Orlovsky himself has turned you into a true Matt Stafford hater.
It's Twitter.
You're making good points, but you're saying that shit from your heart, not your head. And only haters say it from their heart, not your head.
I'm watching this kid just throw the ball to Puka Nacua, who's an absolute monster, and it's like, look at that throw. It's like, dude, like I really I've watched him play. He made some great throws in that game. He also should have had a pick late when they were losing as they were driving that would have like lost the game. And who else but Puka Nacua breaks it up? He makes it a hell of a play. I just watched them and I'm like, Puka Nacua is the best player on this team, and we're gonna give the MVP to somebody else. It's crazy, man.
Should they give it to Puka?
It's so easy to get you going.
It's
I love
crazy.
it.
What'd you say, G?
I said, should Puka be the MVP?
Puka Nacua should win the Opoy. He should be the Opoy, I'll tell you that much. Offensive player of the year, without a question.
Sorry, I'll pick the game now. Sorry, I had to get Brew going a little bit. It was too easy.
It is too easy.
Good for content. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I'm going with the Rams. I think it is the Bears have pulled all these games out of their ass. Credit to them. I think they have a hell of a season. I think they're a fun team to watch, easy team to root for. Like, I definitely like them. I just trust Sean McVay and Matt Stafford. They've been there before. If Caleb Williams plays the way that he has played for the first 3 quarters of every other game for 3 quarters in this game, they're in trouble because the Rams will not, the Rams will take advantage of that shit. And they'll have a big enough lead and they know how to control those situations. Like, Sean McVay is a great fucking coach. If you give them that many opportunities to gain a lead, you're not catching them. They're not a team that I think is going to blow a fucking game like that. So that's why I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you got, G?
my weather statistic aside, I'm also picking the Rams. I think it's going to be a close game. I'll probably say the Rams win 24-21, maybe 24-20. I think it's a close game. Maybe the Bears borderline cover, but I think the Rams will walk away because they have a better coach. Even though I do like Ben Johnson a lot, I think he's going to, he's coming along. Sean McVay is the best coach in the NFL right now, and Brittle Bone Stafford's still got one more in him, Bruce. So I'll go with the Rams.
Brittle bone Matt. It has felt
Hey,
like
don't forget. Like, I know it's a big big temperature drop for him, but like this Rams team, like as much as they are an LA dome team, like don't forget they went into Philadelphia in the snow and really should have beat that Philadelphia team last year. That Super Bowl team
almost
like
beat him.
So almost, I know, but still.
Yeah, it was a good game.
So
they can run the ball too. They can really
that's what
run
I'm
the
saying.
ball.
They can, like, I don't know.
I think the Bears are good
can,
though too, man. I think the Bears have so many weapons. Like this kid Colson Loveland's nasty.
He's so good.
Like the receiver, like Bowden's really good. He's like a really good rookie. DJ Moore's obviously a player. Adunze's showing up. I think Bonunga and Swift are a really good little backfield. Like there's a lot of talent in that offense, and their defense has a tendency to force turnovers. So it's felt like we're on a collision course for a Rams Seahawks NFC Championship all season. But I always feel like there's always one team that kind of crashes the party on the conference championship weekend that you weren't really expecting, or at least sometimes. And I think if there's going to be anybody this year that you weren't expecting, it's the Bears. So I can't wait. I cannot wait for this weekend. Like there's just not a better football weekend on the calendar all year as far as quality of football. I cannot wait for this Patriots game. Like it's just the best, man. This is the best time of the year when your team's playing. And yeah, any last thoughts, boys?
I'm just thankful. I've been very busy at work this week.
You're going to the game?
Cruising. You're going, Cal? Let's go. Nice. We need you there.
Fucking right, I'm going.
You're there.
Fucking right, I'm going.
All right. So we'll hop. We all have Monday off, so we'll probably record the podcast Monday morning for those listening. Maybe, potentially a quick instant reaction, but I'm planning to maybe get off of the game Sunday. Because it's the first game, I kind of want to watch that other game after without thinking about the podcast. So, yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully, we got some new listeners. Shout out West Roxbury.
Last quick thought. Shout out West Roxbury. But just a funny little nugget because it was at the game, and I know what I was telling you guys. Obviously got some stickers and we're passing them out. And I was telling you guys from the beginning, I'm just going to start littering the porta potties with stickers all over the place. So I would just go, every time I go take a piss, I'd just stick another couple stickers on the porta potty. And then when I started talking to people, I gave a couple tickets out. People coming up to me was like, yo, I saw those at the porta potty. That was you. I was like, yeah, take another one. Follow us.
Good. Yeah. Hopefully we got some new listeners checking this out. They're enjoying this. We're having a blast doing this. It's been a hell of a season for it, I got to say. Did not think it would turn into this when I just started talking to my phone one day. So, yeah, let's hope this magic keeps going. Go Pats. Really
Go Pats.
Cannot wait to watch this game. And, yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Thank you.
Go Pats.